Previously, the group of you have successfully ran a series of sorties against the Order of Whelm that have been attempting to usurp control of the desert city of Akkad. You have now successfully dispatched the de facto leader of this organization, the one that seized control after the destruction of the seeming goo-like entity that you destroyed deep beneath the city. None of you are presently on death's door. We are picking up after initiative in the uppermost level of the Great Library of Akkad. What would you like to do?
Are any of the generals' bodies remaining?
Moment. Nemarath's body still remains.
I would like to search through that corpse, please.
The Tabaxi did turn into goo, much like everything else.
While Heliwrast is doing that, can I look for survivors, any citizens or...
Within the library?
Yeah, within that room we are in.
Oh, yeah. No roll necessary for that done, and even your base bonus is enough. This room is a litany of different methods of death. You do have one Asgard that has survived with you, Larry, who's been named affectionately Larry, and he's got the Vietnam 1,000-yard stares. The trees whisper at me type of expression on him. Aeolus, roll me investigation, please. Damn.
Ooh,
Okay.
holy shit.
Jeez. It's the way to start.
Yeah. All downhill from there. That's what I like to see.
Hey.
That makes what I was going to do to this corpse so fucked up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And as I said, downhill from there. All right. Examining Nemarath's form. With a 33. I'd like you to also actually roll a medicine check for me as well, with advantage.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. You can see that her corpse isn't inert. Something is happening. And you recognize that it is not her alive. She is well and truly dead, missing the back 40% of her skull, and the contents therein. But what you initially thought was some type of breathing before you actually did your checks, you can see the very slow desiccation of the body, which you recognize as what you suspect in retrospect the process to be that happened to Dr. Frohen T-Dance so many moons ago. There's a almost imperceptible, you just barely noticed it as when you were doing your once-over checking, there was a certain amount of give in her collar and around the cuffs of her garments, that when you completed your search and doubled back into these sections where people might hide something underneath the garments, there was slightly more give. There was a little bit more space between the interior hem and what is her body proper, leading you to make the conclusion that her body is almost shrinking slightly. And you take that glance over and you can see bones are becoming slightly more pronounced. And there is a pool of what appears to be fluid. It's not colored or scented in any type of way, gathering beneath you on the ground and slowly radiating out from the body as she is being desiccated. And it makes you think of Dr. Frohenti Dance immediately. Examining the body itself for accouchement, she has a pouch that contains 12 platinum, 13 gold, and 212 silver.
12 platinum, 13 gold.
And 212 silver.
Okay.
She has 2 gemstones, both of which are rubies. They would suffice as, together, the components for up to about 1,000 gold pieces worth of spell component value. If you could sell them for that, less likely, but they would suffice for such components, if necessary. And she has a small, looks like a tobacco pouch, almost. As you open it up and sort of examine it, there's a series of dried leaves in it, but they don't seem to be any type of pipeweed or anything like that. They have a dusting of this almost fluorescent green, incredibly fine sand. Like if you're familiar with like the texture of like confectioner's sugar, it's that type of granularity. It's not very sandy, almost like flour in the size of these grains, and it's just dusted over the surface of these leaves, and they're sort of in that dried, but they were probably sticky at one point type of stage, and that's what was used to adhere this powdered substance to them prior to. You have no idea what these are.
Okay.
And that it's fluorescent green.
I will pocket that. Okay.
And that's it. That's everything that you find of particular note.
Oh, I spelled that word wrong so terribly. All right, cool. I will call out to Siegfried and Tang and the rest of the group. She's expiring much like Edens. Almost withering away slowly. If I were to pop a detect magic, can I sense anything about the process?
You casting it as a spell?
Yes. I'm using my last spell slot.
There is no magical effect that you immediately pick up on. You can tell that there's something off, but it's not within the arcane purview.
Okay. I will relay that to the group.
Yes, we have to assume that Froen and Badiana and this person, same thing all happened to them, I guess.
I'm starting to think this is the corruption that our bodies would essentially go through. Everyone else exploded into the red goop. Maybe because they weren't the original.
Who knows? I don't think we have enough information yet.
I'm going to start working on relieving the corpse of their skull. Or what's left of it.
Easily done over the course of 10 minutes.
Perhaps we should go see what what's his face is up to. Our paladin friend. Not Kelpip. The
Finian.
Phineas.
Finian, yes. He was distracting the main force.
Yeah. And then once we are
We gotta make sure Larry gets home too.
Harry, I'm so happy you made it.
Larry leaves.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Larry. Thank you.
Yeah.
He needs to go report. He needs to tell whatever superior he has what happened, and then get his department ordered therapy.
You don't understand, man. They were just taking hits and laughing.
So yeah, I think we go and try and track down Finian.
As we walk out of this floor, are the
Excuse me.
books on the shelves that are back by the stairs, are they able to just be pulled off of the shelf?
They can be. You've been in this library previously. There's a large swath of them that have been damaged through the fighting here. As the group of you have learned, these things are guarded against non-magical damage and destruction, but there's a lot of things that happened, and not all of it friendly to the preservation of literature.
I would like to come back here after we're done. But Siegfried's right. We should head out and see if Finian was able to save more of the Asgard than we were.
No problem. Anyone have anything else that they wish to do here prior to that? Or good?
Nope.
Um,
I would like to take a little time to cure wounds, both Heli and Dunan. And Jaya. So I'm going to use 3 level 1 spell slots for those.
Oh, thank you.
Where is that? There it is. So first one is Heli.
Ooh,
Second one is Jaya.
Lovely.
Third one is Dunan. Sorry, Dunan.
Sorry, here's 17 points of healing.
That was the worst of the 3.
Sorry for closing your wounds.
All off of a level 1 spell.
it's
yeah.
it's all right.
And then I know
Um,
because I cast the spells on them.
There are a bunch of like magic circles in this room, right? Like there were designs on the floor.
There are, yes.
Yeah. I'd pull Jaya aside and I'll ask, does this mean anything to you? I assume it might be part of the replacing process.
Can I do detect magic on that?
Certainly. As you examine the different symbols and stuff upon the floor, there, Shia, with the aid of the spell as well, you identify these are mostly different runic circles of abjuration. I'd say make a history check with advantage as well.
26.
Okay. It takes you a moment, but after a while, you do place this accurately. These are used in the experimentation of new magical energies, such that when they are activated, which they have not been, it wards the area, and at this point also the various seating areas upon like stone seats that were on the far side of the room. You guys didn't really get to at all, but such that a gallery could observe the experimentation of magical new experiments in relative safety to guard the rest of the space against a spell gone awry, such that anyone once these are active, any spell cast from within the radius of one of these circles of energy, it cannot affect anything outside of that space. And they are equally set up that they are linked but separate, such that you can demonstrate different methods of transposition by teleporting from one circle on one side of the room to another one on another side, once again without affecting anything on the in-between space. These are protective things put in place for the continued advancement of knowledge here within the Library of Akkad. You, by their presence, immediately you know that a great amount of wealth went into the creation of these permanent things. They just need to be activated correctly. And that at one point, the Library of Akkad was probably a prominent feature in the development of arcane skills.
I would relate that, but just be like, man, she's really would have loved to study here, you know? It's so cool. And just like, it feels a little sinister right now because it's like covered in goo and whatever's leaking out of body. But it's brilliant, honestly.
So what you're saying is that all these glyphs allow them to experiment?
Yeah,
Well, I
it's a
don't think
protection, but they need to be activated.
the Order of the Realm activated them, did they?
Yeah, they're not
Maybe
active.
they didn't know how to.
Possible.
I don't know, it might be useful in the future. I can see some benefits of a space you can cast magic safely. We've had to cast some risky spells in the past.
Exactly. Think about it. It'd be great. You could figure out like the right levels, which levels do what.
Is
And
is this something you can figure out how to activate?
You suspect you probably could with a little bit of research. You also surmise somewhere within the library is the indication of the activation sequence. These are not the type of things that would be dangerous if fallen into the wrong hands. These are the types of things that you probably want most people to understand how to use. It's like fire safety. Like you want people to know where the exits are. You want people to know how these things work if they're going to be practicing arcane magic.
Right. Like this would make Hogwarts way safer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, you have dueling clubs for
Yeah.
11-year-olds.
Yeah. It's like a magical.
Exactly.
It's like a magical rage room that you can just put somewhere and then not damage the rest of the structure.
I would like to start copying down everything.
Yeah, I asked can these runes be replicated somewhere else?
With your 26 as well, you would have learned about these types of things at some point from Kelpip as well. Maybe not this one in particular, but these take the part of casting the same spells in the same place over the course of 5 years to make permanent.
Oh wow.
These are much more investiture than even a permanent circle of teleportation. These are meant to immediately sort of codify any place where they are placed permanently as a hub of arcane study. These are treasures to find, but not to transport, basically.
Yeah. And it's only like a treasure for people who value like knowledge and magic.
Also, yes.
Yeah. Like for a lot of normal people, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah.
I suspect that's why Larry ran away. So I don't care.
Maybe we can search the library where we can to see if we can activate the circle. I don't know. I think we should find Finian. We should find Finian.
Yeah, I was gonna say, time-wise, priority-wise, just want to know.
Yeah.
The answer's
I'm
yes.
sorry, I got ahead of myself. This is interesting. It makes sense why Badiana came here.
I've been trying to get into this library for months, but now I can't. I'm in. I can't do anything about it. It's awful. The worst. But let's go kill some people. Why not?
Alright. Hopefully we're done, but we need to make sure Finian is safe.
Easy enough to leave the library. Like everyone to make me perception checks. When you do so, as well. Damn good rolls. Jeez.
We're on it.
Wow. Nothing beneath a 19. Okay. Yeah. So as you step out of the base layer of this library, pushing back down through the areas covered in viscera and gore and blood splatter, you know there's going to be weeks worth of cleaning work here. Whoever runs the Carpenters Guild and the Cleaners Guild is going to be very happy people in the next like 3 weeks over the course of the city. As you,
You're still alive.
yeah, plenty of work. Stepping out though, there is an immediate air of relief. There's a very almost imperceptible weight that has been blanketed over the city has been pulled back, and a very small sliver of the presence of joy and hope has crept back into your hearts. It feels like the tide has successfully turned at this point, with the small bits of work you have done, reconnecting the establishment, the aid that Kelpip has been able to provide to the Asgar, their small amount of leadership, and the destruction of the generals has started a sizable snowball that is gathering momentum as it goes. You suspect at some point in the next 12 or so hours, maybe a day at most, the Order of Whelm will be successfully routed entirely. Thanks in no small part to the actions of yourselves. You don't see anyone in the streets around the Great Library immediately.
I guess Finian would head back to the tavern if he could. And also the lieutenant's there. Might as well give
I
a
was gonna
report.
say, I would think that would be a logical meetup space for everyone involved.
Alright, I'm just glad there isn't active fighting on the doorsteps.
Yeah.
Well, I could go for some ale. That was some tough beating we took there.
Yes, this is gonna be a new song. A good one, I swear. The Ballad of Larry, the lone survivor.
Oh.
He's
oh,
gonna-
he's
He should be
have so many
promoted.
stories to tell.
He's gonna tell, yeah, he's gonna tell people the stories. They're not gonna believe him. He's gonna be Larry the liar.
I gotta write the song so people don't think he's a liar. That's what-
Yeah, we will spend time telling the story of Larry to bolster him up in this town.
Ah, yes.
Gonna turn Larry into a best-selling author.
Yeah, exactly.
My story.
Larry, honorary member of the Bloody Mad.
Larry needs a
Yeah.
publicist immediately. He needs to sign up with some management.
What's the role to find a manager?
Yeah.
Talent-
Larry
talent
kicks the
manager.
bloody mad dogs, huh?
Yeah.
He definitely passed the audition. So yeah, I think we go to the tavern then if Finian isn't in the immediate vicinity.
He's not. No.
Yeah.
Easily enough done over the course of about 30 minutes. Doesn't seem like you guys are in any type of particular rush. The streets are made relatively safe at this point as the Order of Whelm is being continuously pushed back. You make it back to Rook's Mead Hall, and you find Finian. Touch base with him. He's currently poring over some maps, but seems to be halfway through his second tankard of some type of honeyed wine. And he looks up. Oh, you're not dead. That's a good thing. I take it that you made out fine then.
Yes, you didn't hear the report from Larry?
No. Who's Larry?
He's one of the Ascar that went with us.
Not a very traditional code name. Fine. Good that they survived as well. No, I haven't heard no reports yet. Probably went to his superiors first. I mean,
I'm glad you survived, Finian. You've been a remarkable help.
I was fine. Y'all put me on fucking bait duty. It was
Of
easy.
course. Yeah, you run faster than most people.
I've been here for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I stopped and had a
Well-
snack on the way.
Well, we were busy with killing the generals of the Order of Whelm.
Yeah, a lot of
But
circles
rest
of fire.
assured, they're dead.
Makes sense. Reports been coming in. Whelmite's been a bit unorganized. Not sure if they should stay run. I mean, if they stay, they die. But
They,
tide's turning. It's everything's going well.
the library is a horror show, Finian. So many people were killed there.
You're not supposed to kill the civilians when you're gone.
They were gone before we got there.
It's a good story. Stick with that one.
Yes, Siegfried the mass murderer, of course.
I can see it now. Town criers calling out the vicious atrocities of the Goliath Siegfried. Yeah, go well for you.
I think you had a wine or two too much.
I think I need a wine or two too much.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Let's order around over here.
I asked Finian, how's Kelpip holding up?
He's doing fine. You should see that man. I don't know if you've ever seen him get into any type of scrape. Order Whelmites saw fit to try to strategically transfer some of his provisions elsewhere. They had some of their innards strategically transferred to some other place.
I mean, that's one of the first things my mom told me when we went to Elderthorn is to keep my hands in my pocket when we went to Kelpip's store.
Yeah, he's not very forgiving. Been a few decades since I've seen him like that.
Seems like this was building quite a bit. Do you know how Kelpip ran into the Order of Whelm in the first place? They ran him out of town, right?
My understanding, just probably were trying to pressure him to put the mark up on the store.
Join the guild and whatnot.
And sometimes you just choose, you know what, fuck that. It's not worth the effort. Close up shop there.
Yeah. Makes sense. So, what's the plan for you now, Finian?
Looks at his tankard and, well, it's that, and then probably 2 or 3 more of that. And then I'm not sure after that.
Well, I mean,
Everything's going well. Yaskar found one of their sergeants, couple lieutenants in one of the sorties they were running. Leadership's been majorly reestablished.
have they gotten in contact with the king, or is it someone else now?
Not sure yet. I think they're probably planning to mount some assault in the next few hours there. They got a decent number. It seems to be positive. Some member of the Melmites have decided that's the place to make the last stand, but it doesn't bode well for the longevity of our ruler.
No, it doesn't.
Which, I mean, if he's alive, it'd be a mighty fine bargaining chip. Based on the fact that they've not been saying, oh, we'll let your king live, we can probably surmise he's dead as a door now.
I
What
would
does
like
that
to
mean?
be a part of that last assault.
And I doubt it's necessary. I think they got it handled.
Oh no.
They
I
might
just-
also... No, it's fine.
Me too.
I just steer clear of, like, getting too close. You wouldn't want them confusing outsiders for insurrectionists. I think they're a bit touchy, especially about something as important as royal households. They might think you're in there to loot and steal the things from the place rather than do good.
I've had enough of battle for today. I think I'm just going to hang out here, see if anyone else needs help.
Alright. I'm gonna get back to working real hard on this
Well,
one.
Opinion, if you ever need help in the future, we owe you one. At least I do.
Sort of
feel free
counts
to
on his
reach
fingers
out.
for a moment. Pretty sure it's more than one, but who's tracking?
Yeah, how many times did I heal you, Finian?
It's not enough. It's
Of
still got a
course, it's
crick in
never
my neck.
enough. Here, let me fix that for you.
Fuck off!
What happened to your toad?
He napped through half of it. The fucker.
Yeah.
He shows up midway through. We're running. We got the Ascarana on my tail. Behind them is the Order Realm. And then lumbering down the alleyway, blocking maybe 70% of it. We had 2 Asgard, too fucking fat to be able to squeeze past the damn thing. He's just looking at me like he didn't do nothing wrong.
He's just watching.
Yeah. He missed out on dinner.
Hmm. What a beautiful creature.
Eh. Don't let him hear you say that. He doesn't need another ego.
Well,
Oh, one more thing, Finian. Has there been any sighting of Gwen Artemiel in the city?
Artemo.
Yeah,
How's
Artemo.
Artemo? No.
No.
I haven't seen anyone. The house is relatively decently protected. And they're underground. I don't think they were within Wilm's territory. So they're probably fine.
I just heard that she had gone through the gate to the city a few days before us.
Possible. I mean, you could check with the house sometime the next day or so. I think everyone right now is sort of wary of people.
I'm not sure this is the greatest time to show up at a noble's house unannounced.
Oh yeah, they'd think you're one of them, trying
Exactly.
to talk your way in and then corrupt them.
Blow jam all over them.
Oh,
Whatever you do in your spare time, man.
that was an unfortunate sentence, Siegfried.
I mean, yeah, true.
All right. I think that's. I'm gonna call it. I'm too old for this.
Well, you did pretty well, Aeolus.
You're younger than a spring fucking chicken. Shut up.
That was pretty good for a command, Aeolus. We gotta give report to Storm Surge. I guess whenever we can send a message to him.
Yeah.
Well, y'all rest, relax. You earned it. I'll wake you if there's anything important, or I'll come get you. I'm gonna post up here.
I'm gonna start writing the Ballad of Larry.
Jaya's gonna be over your shoulder, being like, "No, don't put that there. No, add in this." And oh yeah, the tripping. Do the tripping.
Yeah.
Just like a super annoying backseat driver.
Oh no, no! First draft
Love
is
it.
terrible.
Love it.
First draft is terrible.
Oh no!
He's gonna need a really.
Well, this is not a public showing yet. I'm still working on it.
Maybe instead of working on your...
Dunan's last stand took me about a week. Takes
Larry,
time.
with the
I gotta
complexion of orange. Fuck, what rhymes with that?
Maybe instead of working on your songwriting, we should talk about your spell preparation.
Ooh.
I thought I prepared my spell as well.
I'm just gonna walk
What would
away.
you plan on doing if I actually went down?
I mean, I don't hold the diamonds. I leave that to you.
What am I supposed to do if I die?
I don't know.
He would have brought you back.
How?
Heli has some dead body stabilization spells and some life exchange spells that she could use if necessary.
You don't have Revivify.
No, I don't, but I have life transference.
That
and
works on
spare
someone
the
who's not
dying.
dead. Works on someone that's
Spare
not
the
dead.
dying.
Works
Okay, well,
yeah.
Yeah.
never mind that.
Yeah.
For me, usually alcohol
As
does
an
the trick.
emergency safety measure, it would be a good idea to have somebody else on the team also have Revivify protection.
Fine. We'll prepare it. I usually have it prepared, but then once you took control of the diamonds, I changed it out.
You can. I give you full permission to loot my body if I die, so that you can bring me back.
That's usually Aeolus's thing. I don't think.
I mean, after how close I got this last combat, I personally would feel better if you kept Revivify prepared. Or we as a party invested in a scroll that somebody else, like Heli, could hold on to, because I trust Heli to bring me back.
See, I can also cast Revivify. Gee, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Did you have it prepared for this past
No,
combat?
definitely did not.
You're crazy. I have only 2 spell slots in level 3, so I don't waste it on Revivify.
Yeah, most of my level 3s, I've had to use Pass Without a Trace so many times. This thing,
So maybe we should buy a scroll and give it to Helly.
it's alright. I haven't been using enhanced ability a lot, so I can swap that out. Ugh. Big deal.
Thank you.
Eolus, roll me an Arcana check.
Sorry, that's...
Never mind.
Yeah. Aeolus is just trying to like subtly strip the skin from the skull that he picked up.
Where are you doing this?
It is,
No.
Is this in the? Is this in the drinking hall?
Yes.
Like where people are
We're
eating
eating.
and drinking?
Yes.
Okay.
The group is talking loud enough and so like triumphantly that Aeolus is like, no one will care if I just lean back and just start, using my knife to strip the skin and the sinew.
You are interrupted during this activity. A tiefling woman with maybe a dozen piercings in each of her ears, and some that have sort of changed that hook back to her horns that have curled back following the curvature of her skull. She's just in... They're dirty at this point, but at one point would have been relatively nice white robes. Purchase. That would be much easier if you got some beetles and placed them in a satchel with the skull. They'll eat the flesh and sinew away, and you'll be left with just the bones themselves. Was she important to you? You're missing part of the head.
Oh no, the part of the head that's missing is because I blew it off with my crossbow.
You're quite morose. I like it.
And thanks for the tip, but I have plan for the...
Flesh?
Yes.
Even better. Sarisa. Pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure. And I just go back to stripping what's left of the skull.
She watches you for a while. You notice at one point you sort of glance up furtively just to see if she's still watching. Her eyes are pupilless. They just have an entirely sort of yellowish gold covering over her eyes. And she seems entirely enraptured and content to sit in silence as she watches you work on the skull.
Shia wants an insight check on this. I need to know what the fuck is happening.
Certainly. You see what's
what
happening.
does the 17 get me? She just like
Taking
into
a-
him? Is she weirdly into the pet things? I don't know what's going on, but I need to know.
Reading her body language as she interacts with Aeolus, it doesn't seem that she's particularly taken with him any more than anyone else, but she's fascinated by the process of how he's working on this remnant of your most recent victim, so to speak. Make a religion check.
23.
Based on how she's dressed, you gather she's some type of representative of some ceremony or semi-religious order of some variety. She's not dressed very traditionally for Akkad. She would probably stand out amongst the common populace. But you gather she at least at some point holds some type of maybe lectures or sermons on some type of religious worship. You gather that's where her interest most likely lies, as Aeolus does this. You're not sure if she thinks he's doing some type of religious thing or not, and some form of worship. It's genuine curiosity as to what he is doing.
Okay.
And she also seems wise enough to know that if she just watches and waits, she'll probably get her questions answered even when someone doesn't want to tell her what is happening. I have a handout for her as well. Here you are.
And what brings you here to Akkad?
You're talking to Cerisa?
Yeah.
She doesn't turn. She continues watching Aeolus. I live here.
Really?
Yes, is
In
that...
the temple or something?
We have no temples. No, in a home that has fallen to fire and fighting.
Sorry that we weren't able to stop it.
It's all well. I'll rebuild it. It will give me the opportunity to remodel some. Did you need something, Master Dwarf?
Anna is a little bit put off by her obsession with what Aeolus is doing. So he just continues drinking. He probably has already 5 cups in front of him.
Jaya, I'd like you to roll me an Arcana check as well, please. Never mind.
Damn it!
So, as Aeolus continues working on this, once I strip where the forehead is, I'll turn to Arisa. So I have a question.
Yes.
What would you recommend if I needed to inscribe on the skull?
In bone?
Yes.
Carver's tools. I would imagine. Maybe fortified by magic. I suspect the bone is probably a bit harder than some of the woods that they would be used to. If you find a fisherman with a set of scrimshaw tools, that would probably be most ideal. They're made for carving bone, after all. Except not dwarven, if I am guessing correctly.
Yes. Would you know of anyone that could help with the magical part to make sure I don't completely destroy this project?
Not particularly. You could try the northern ports. Kirat. Bit standoffish people. I understand. She breaks line of sight with the skull for the first time and glances over at Finian. I understand his friend is back in town. He may have the ability to enchant something. She looks back at the skull. If you need.
Aeolus will heft the work in progress and go. I just felt the need that if they were such a pain in the ass while they were alive, that they may help while they're dead.
Seems reasonable.
Aeolus. By the way.
And the pleasure is mine.
My apologies.
None necessary. You apologize for offense given, and none was taken. You were enraptured by a project within your grasp. I understand it all too well.
And what kind of projects do you like to focus on?
Oh, a fair bit. Primarily, the protecting of Akkad against external threats and preventing the usurpation of my city's innumerable magical resources in any way that I can.
Why are we just meeting you now? We've been fighting our asses off.
I'm no
Almost
soldier.
several times. Just wish we'd met earlier.
More things can be done with a few well-placed words and whispers than otherwise. But sometimes things don't go quite well. And that's where other people have to step in.
Isn't that
Glances at Finian again. Some problems require a hammer, which I am not.
Do you have experience dealing with magic items?
To an extent, yes. Would you like aid in selling some of that which you have? Or identifying things you have
Aeolus, your
found?
armor! We gotta get your armor!
Oh shit! And Aeolus just ran
Okay. Glad I remembered that.
Seeing Aeolus sort of streak out of the meat hall. Is that what you said, Sam? Aeolus leave. Oh,
and then
goodbye then.
oh yeah, thank you for reminding me of that.
She just sort of steps over towards Finian and entirely ignoring your attempt at continued conversation. Quite rude of her. But seeing that her show has left, she is going and speaking with Finian in a few hushed tones for a moment.
Does she continue to ignore me after she's talking with Finian, or
Do you go over and talk to her while she's speaking with Finian?
Yeah, I still had a question to ask her. If she wants.
As you get closer, you see them stop talking. Oi.
Oh, I was just following up on my question about a magic item. This is not a good time?
What'd you find? Something fun.
Well, I'm looking for the provenance of a magic item that was given to me. All I know is that the person was supposedly from this city, and what they gave to me was remarkably powerful. It's just something that's been bothering me. I want to know why they gave it to me.
You're in luck. Sarisa here knows most of the important things in the city. Finian? No.
All right. If you don't want to get involved, that's fine.
Fine. What
I'll help her.
is the item?
I show her the ring of winter on my hand.
May I?
Sure. I
Holds
pop
out
it
her
on.
hand.
Yeah, and hand it over. This thing has helped me a lot. I rely on it quite a bit, but I don't like relying on magic that I don't know where it came from, you know?
Her eyes flicker for a moment. That is understandable. What languages do you speak, Siegfried?
Just giant dwarvish and common and druidic. Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone speak Sylvan?
I don't think so. Maybe Heli? I don't know.
That's
No.
a negative.
Yeah.
You're not here, Aeolus. You left.
I mean, if I do start hearing Sylvan, I can at least cast comprehend languages, but
um,
um,
which has
but it's
components
written.
to it. They'll be aware that you're casting. She drops into Sylvan and speaks
Okay.
with Finian.
Yeah.
A
I
few
mean, I can
lines
also
back and forth.
I can also subtle cast it.
Would you like
Yeah.
to?
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay. You have the sorcery point still?
Yep, I have one sorcery point left.
Okay.
I only used it once during the fight.
Identifying the language, you pick up about 3 sentences on each of their sides into the conversation. Where it doesn't change the words that you hear, but all of a sudden they make sense within your mind as word conjures an image, and you get this series of sort of pictures that tell the story of their conversation as they're going. And you interpret as thus: when the spell takes effect, never thought it would have been returned to the city. How'd they come by it? He's not said. Did he speak with you about it? He said something about somebody, I think. He asked if some gnomish fella, I think, was in town. Gnome? Do you think it was him? It's unlikely. He didn't say where he had met this gnome.
Well,
That's quite fascinating. Do you think he would be willing to? I don't know. He might not. I mean, seems like he came by it fair means. You should ask him. It's not my place. They trust you more. I'm not a member as this. That you see the hand gesture sort of at Sarisa. Fine. How attached to you are this? We'd be more than willing to relieve you of the burden if you are seeking coin. I'm sure something such as this could be useful to a city that commonly exists in extremely warm climates to
of course, but
cool off an area.
this has value to me, and I have another mission I need this for. So, for now, I'll hold on to it. But perhaps,
Where did you come by this?
do you mind if I have it back? I will answer. Honestly.
Make a persuasion or deception check, whichever you.
It is persuasion. I'll wheel myself with my last cosmic omen. Yeah, just the 13.
Make an insight check for me as well, please.
Ellie will step up to Siegfried's shoulder and just stare at this chick. Just stare. Loosening her.
Her countenance has
Actually-
Her countenance has shifted slightly. Let us bandy away with our half-truths. This is an artifact of significant importance to the city of Akkad. I need to know by how you came this.
Okay, fair enough. I
It was
tell her the story.
stolen, from my understanding.
Well, I promise you I did not steal it. I tell her the story about how we ended up in the Temple of the Raven Queen or whatnot. I forget if we knew if it was the Raven Queen or not.
Matron of Ravens, yeah.
Yeah, the Matron of Ravens. I found a gnomish man who I thought first of all, the temple has a hag coven, so don't go there. We did not deal with the hags; we barely escaped them.
Your eyes widen
secondly-
slightly at that with your
and
insight.
then-
You notice.
And then secondly, while we were sneaking around the coven, well, we thought we were sneaking. Obviously, we were caught. I ran into a gnomish man who was severely out of his mind, and he was eating bugs and telling us it was food. So
Did
after
he give
some
you a
exam-
name?
I don't remember.
Did he know his name?
Not when I found him. He was just eating bugs. I cast Dispel Magic on him. It was a powerful spell. I almost didn't dispel it, but I managed to with some luck. And afterwards, he seemed to pop to his senses, and he gave me this ring in advance, and he ran off and said he was from Akkad.
But he did not identify himself in the moment of
No.
clarity restoration.
He did not, and honestly, we had a lot of other things to worry about. We had some polite slavers after us.
One moment, please. You can see Sarisa, the tips of her 2 forefingers glow for a moment, and she passes them in a circle that's parallel to the ground. A small utterance of a spell. Sorry, this is not something that interlopers need to know about. And she glances around the mead hall. About 15, 16 years ago, one of King Velor's grandsons was killed. We suspect it was by his tutor. The tutor was missing. We found a annihilated corpse. We suspected to be the tutor. However, the birthright, which I believe this ring to be, was not upon the body. We did not understand the power of said birthright, and intuited that such magic might have destroyed the tutor when he attempted to utilize it. There's a great deal of mysticism and belief amongst the populace and the investigators of the time that one not of Velor's bloodline that had been elected to the royal duties would be unable to use such a device. as you yourself have been successfully able, as you say, to use it up until this point. We know that to be false, but it's not surprising. We suspected everything was destroyed, and your story casts a great deal of doubt, not only on the events that we had surmised, but potentially the investigators' motivations in that time. There was a bit more divide between the dwarven rule of the city and some of the other races that have now codified themselves more into the Progressive Alliance and against the Dwarven Bloc. So you are unfamiliar with the political maneuverings of Akkad, but there's tension between the Dwarven Bloc, which is roughly half of the populace of the city, and others, anyone who feels othered by them. And I'm now concerned that these tensions precipitated the covering up of a significant crime and theft. It is unfortunate you did not learn this individual's name. Do they live still?
Yes, I didn't know he was a murderer at the time.
It's possible he was not, mind you.
We were surrounded by a camp of Goliath slavers. We managed to sneak out as a group, but he was quite skilled. He literally disappeared into the night. I don't think he used magic to do it. So if it's a thief you're looking for, I mean, fits the MO.
She places the ring back into her palm. It is very possible that this might be one of the heirlooms of King Valor. You may do with it as you will, as it sounds to be that you did not come by it of ill intent or means. You would likely gain some not insignificant amount of favor with the courts should you decide to restore it to the king's line. I understand he may not be alive at the moment, in which case another special election shall be called, but it belongs to the rulership, and such restoration would potentially go a long way towards the general acknowledgement of a new monarch. People would see it as an omen of good fortune that even in the wake of one king's passing, the regency of a new individual is blessed by the restoration of such a relic. Consider it. I mean,
Perhaps
you not to thieve you in any way.
I understand, and I do know that there are things greater than power that we should strive for. Perhaps once the succession is sorted out, you can reach out to me, and I will consider it again. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to help everyone I can, but my own village is in danger, and I can use this to help. So I got to think about it. Is that all right?
Of course. Bear in mind also that favor begets favor.
Exactly.
Friendship
yes.
of whomsoever takes control of the city
And
would potentially be beneficial for your village.
That is why I was sent here. So, yes, perhaps maybe you can arrange a meeting for me once whoever the successor is. Is that possible? I don't know if I can demand one personally.
Once the vote has been called, hopefully it is unnecessary and Valor still lives. But should he not, should he, I'll see what I can do to allow you to meet with him. And if he is not of this world, I will see that you can potentially meet with the hopefuls, such that you could arrange something for a coronation if you decide to move in that direction.
So you mean I would have to crown the king?
No, but presented as a gift at a coronation would solidify support of the populace across the racial divides.
I guess it would have to be public.
It's a grandiose gesture, but such are the politics of the card.
It makes sense. Yes,
But
I
I
think
could
it would-
arrange potentially meetings with any of the potential candidates so they know such a working might be in the wings, and you can decide if they are appropriately worthy of your gift.
Well, maybe I have an interesting idea. I don't know. Maybe is there a way I can remain anonymous and meet them?
Such
I
that
feel
they
like
are unaware.
I feel like an audition should be in their own natural state, shouldn't they?
Of course. Should the unspeakable come to pass, I will see what I can do to arrange such a chance encounter.
Thank you. And sorry to keep bothering you both, but I also have one more question of personal nature.
It's hard to tell if someone that doesn't have pupils can roll their eyes, but you get that sense for a moment.
This one's gonna be quick. No politics, or I guess not. I have no idea. But have you ever met a woman named Badiana?
Here a few years back, I want to say.
She came to
briefly.
Akkad, and she was replaced by the Order of Whelm,
Ooh.
or corrupted. And she came back
This
to
is
our village
unknown.
and was involved in a terrible incident. And I'm trying to figure out what happened to her, or where she may have gone in this city.
Order of Realm. Please. That's most concerning if they've stationed people in the other Tautha.
I mean, yes, that's why we originally came here covertly. We weren't sure.
I'm afraid I'm not going to be as much help there as I would like to be. But I wish you the best.
Thank you. Sorry for bothering you.
Finian gives you a wink as you walk away. Anyone else have anything that they wish to do prior to resting? Aeolus, you collect your armor.
Yeah.
I believe you were partially paid for it, correct?
Yes.
All right,
I
mark
will.
mark off the additional.
Yep.
Okay. The group of you do successfully complete your long rest and reach a milestone of leveling up.
Ooh, nice.
That is level 10, I believe, correct?
Yep.
All right. Who would like to roll for hit points?
Yes.
All right, Dunan, you're paladin at D10. Tang, you don't have a D6.
Yay.
I was rolling for my Starlight Raven bangle.
Okay, I was going to say, that's not your hit dice.
No, I know. I wasn't rolling for hit dice, but I will be rolling for hit dice.
All right, so Dunan gets 5 plus your con mod, increase to your maximum. Tang with the big maximum 8.
Woo!
Thank God.
I got a really Powerful
Alright.
feature too.
Aeolus, are you rolling or no?
Yeah.
I believe you're taking a D8 hit dice, correct?
Yep.
Go for it.
It's
Incoming
This
2.
one, guys.
I just imagine this armor
Yeah.
working away while the city's just like falling apart around. Like, gotta meet this deadline. Gotta get it.
Aeolus picks up 4. Don't forget your con mod. Heliwrast, are you taking average?
Average.
Alright, your average is 7 plus your con mod. And don't forget, those of you who have tough, that you get extra. And Dunan, don't forget, you get the Dwarven toughness now as well.
I get 3 more.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Dunan's looking at an 8 plus his con mod. Base. Alright. So we got Aeolus, Dunan, Heli, Tang, Siegfried. Jai, are you rolling or are you taking average?
It's hard.
Here it dies a
My luck, I
D6,
want
isn't
to
it?
say average. Yeah.
Yeah. Your average is 4. So
I'll just do average then.
okay, 4 plus your
Well,
con mod.
If it makes you feel any better, you still have higher hit points than Aeolus.
That
Relax
does
on my
actually.
coughing.
Thank you.
And I need
Yeah.
to look at the new 5.3 for my spell list now.
It is
Yeah.
updated in the journal. There
It's
is
in the journal. Okay.
party tired. Give me a moment. Background, custom creations, additional class options. Scroll down to your Shaman, and it will hyperlink you to the updated Shaman page. And you will see your spell list if you scroll to the bottom.
Okay.
Still don't have access to fucking jack shit.
How do you calculate how many spells druids can prepare again? It's like 10 plus.
There is no calculation anymore. It's a flat number. Nice and easy.
Oh,
So it's in custom creations, additional class and subclass options.
Additional, yep. And then open that, and then scroll down until you see the Shaman in purple letters, I want to say.
Okay.
And then click on the words "the Shaman," and it'll hyperlink you to the page itself.
Okay, thank you.
Druids, 10th level, you get 15 prep.
okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I think I get one more spell.
Yeah.
I also get one more spell.
Yeah, I think clerics are the same prep rate.
Yeah. How do I change the number of spell slots I have? Because it looks like for the 20.
So
I think you do it in the settings
on
section.
your front page. On the
Okay.
front page, at the very top, there's a gear
Uh-huh.
next to like your name and stuff. Click on the
Yeah.
gear to make the section editable, and change the level to 10.
Okay.
And then click on the gear again, and now your spell slots should be representative.
Okay.
10th level was 4, 3, 3, 3, 2.
Yeah.
And is that now correct on your spell slot sheet?
It's thinking. I think.
You didn't do it. You clicked on the wrong gear. The gear by class and level. The very top, up here.
Oh. Okay.
Change that to 10.
Okay.
And now go to your spells.
Yes.
Yep. And if you notice, it's also updated your hit dice as well. So now you have 10 available.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
So, shamanic guide feature for me. Where do I look for those?
So you scroll up to your subclass, and you are guided by Primal Spirit, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mixed techniques. Your travels have garnered you exposure to many individuals, all skilled in different techniques of casting spells. You've picked up a trick or two here and there to augment your own abilities. Starting at 10th level, you add your Constitution modifier to the damage you deal with any Shaman cantrip.
Okay, great.
I can... Alright, give me 1 sec, Helly. I'm going to paste that onto your sheet.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Greater Restoration or Raised Dead. Those are available to me. Another one of those.
And then your cantrips are Sapping, Sting, and Create Bonfire. So you just get your Constitution modifier on top of them now.
Okay.
Oh, and Misfortune, which is your big one. Add ability mod to... there we go.
Nice.
I think that's your...
Okay.
Add. So I'm opening it, I'm hitting the tick box for add ability mod to
Okay.
damage or healing. And then I'm closing it again. So now if you roll a Misfortune, you see it says 1d4 plus 5 psychic. And then throw it in there. It's not doing your dice calculation for your level. Cantrip regression, cantrip dice. There we go, 2d4. Okay.
Perfect.
So it's 2d4 plus 5. So your cantrips get a little bit better.
Nice. Yeah.
Not a massive swing when you have weapons that you typically use, because your cantrip is casting the spell, obviously, as your action. But gives you ranged usage. For those wondering, Misfortune is just a reflavor of Vicious Mockery.
Nice. Should use that more. Okay.
I got a big power up this level.
What'd you get?
My Archer and Chalice both get another D8.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then I have this feature now. I start each of my turn. I can change my starry form when it's active.
In the start of each of your turns, no action
Yeah.
required. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so broken.
It's
And then also I can fly now in dragon form. Yeah.
fly speed of 20 feet. Slow fly, but fly.
Yeah.
10 got a massive 10th level feature as well, if I'm recalling
Oh my
correctly.
god, yeah, it is. I can cast any 5th level or lower spell once per day with no components or casting time.
Yay!
That's
No components, including spell slots.
Oh yes, that's what I meant by for free. Alright.
Well, the Archer form basically carried me through this past few
Yeah,
encounters.
no kidding.
DOD doesn't want to let me get to the damn classes. God damn.
Yeah, something weird. I had to refresh a bunch of times before it actually worked. Something weird is going on.
Like, I can't get to the classes page. Can you?
It is very slow and
Yeah, it's a really slow.
Yeah.
And it's weird too. In the classes, it's only the 2024 classes. I don't know how you look at the older ones.
So I mean, you can do classes / like the name of the class, like cleric, and it'll take me to my 2014 version. But
Okay.
I want to get to the 2024 cleric.
Yeah, the 2024 druid only had like 3 of the subclasses on it, so yeah.
Maybe if I edit it this way.
Hey Spencer, is
Yeah.
there something I need to do to create a familiar stat block?
I need to give you the stat block and make it editable.
Okay.
So, add character, familiar.
Because at this level, I gain not only the find familiar spell, but also my cannon.
Ooh.
The build's coming together.
I believe you see it now at the very top of the journal.
Yep.
I'm going to move it into your folder in a moment. Enable this as stuff. And it should be entirely editable for you.
Yes, it is. Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Ah, 10th level feature. Doesn't require reaction to cast. The new Divine Intervention is amazing.
I love it.
Okay. Jaya, I believe you get a power up at 10th level as well.
Mm-hmm. Long defense.
Ah, it's a subclass power up.
Mm-hmm.
What Song of Defense do?
If I take damage, I can use my reaction to spend a spell slot and reduce that damage to an amount equal to 5 times of that spell slot's level.
Okay, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
That was one feature that Armis never used.
Yeah. I mean, that seems more like, ooh, Dragon's Breath weapon. Let's not die to that.
Yeah.
Very fun. Okay. Does anyone have anything else, any other help that they need with the leveling up and whatnot?
Yeah, I think you just explained this too. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go, Holly.
I was just going to say, I just get 1 level 5 spell. Is that correct?
Let me jump to the page that I closed. I believe that is correct. Because you are... you're 10th level. You have 2.
2 more? Okay.
You have 2 total. So...
Oh, 2 total level 5s? Yes.
Yeah, so core... Yeah, you're 10th level. So you should have 2 slots. Two slots. Now, your known spells at 10th level is 12. So you've learned 1 spell. And then you can change out one of your spells as well.
Okay. If I find that I'm not really using it that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, right now you have 1... Because Cure Wounds came from a feat, so that doesn't count against you. So you have 1, 2, 3...
Right.
Augury and Detect Thoughts. Detect Thoughts also came from a feat, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're missing 2 spells.
Missing 2 spells. Okay.
So you need to add 2 spells, but your slots are correct.
Okay.
Also bear in mind from this point on, Heli, you will only gain 1 more spell slot at 18th level if we even get there.
Okay.
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 Because you don't gain 6th, 7th, and 8th and 9th level spell slots. You get once per day castings of a single spell.
Ah, okay.
Like a Warlock.
Okay.
So
I will be researching.
Yep. So you have a list that you can take a glance at and decide. Jaya, you said you had something that I just explained and that you still needed help with.
Yeah, because I wasn't paying attention because I'm an asshole. I need to do a 2nd, 5th level spell that. I don't remember how to change the. Yeah.
So front page next to Pirate Plunderer, hit the gear. Up at the top, very top. Change the 9 to a 10. Now you're level 10. Look, your hit dice updated as well, and now you have 2 spell slots.
So thank you.
You're welcome. All right. That covers all of that. Does anyone else have anything that they need?
As I'm going through, I'm looking at D&D Beyond for the spell things. I'm looking at the regular ones, not the legacy. Legacy is.
Yeah. Look at the updated ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to clarify that the 10th level is when I get Divine Intervention, because the PDF that I have of 2024 UA Cleric says that that's 11th level.
No, it is 10th.
Okay.
So Cleric, Channel Divinity, nope. Seer and Dead, ability score improvements. Oh, I hate that it does this. 10th level, Divine Intervention. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Aeolus shared a link for D&D Beyond, so that way you can view the final published version.
Okay, great.
But yes, it is 10th level. Because 11th level, you get 6 level spells. They're not going to stack both of those on the same level.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I have a matter of opinion.
That's a group call.
Cloud Kill, Wall of Force, or Hold Monster? For my 5th level spell. What would be best? Is it Wall of Force that you have, Siegfried? Muted?
No, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Jai, you have 15 spells prepared at this level as well.
Yeah, do I get is it any level?
Any level. There's no restrict. You can prep all of your high level spells and no first level spells if you want. But you get 15 prepped. While people are mulling over Heliwrast's decision making as well, just bear in mind also, everyone, as of the new update, has ritual casting also. There is no more you do get it, you don't get it. If you have the spell prepared and it's a ritual spell, you can cast it as a ritual. Jaya specifically is allowed to cast the spells that she does not have prepared as rituals because of the spellbook rules.
Yep.
But everyone can cast as rituals. Rangers, paladins, everybody. So even you don't.
Ritually cast my Find Steed spell.
No, everyone gets ritual spells now. You also get a free casting in that spell per day anyway.
Yeah, but why waste it if I can ritually cast it?
I think because it's no longer a ritual spell. Yeah, it's no longer a ritual spell is why.
Oh.
It's an action now. I'll put the snippet adventure notes for you, Dunan, if you want. There you go. That's the update to Find Steed. So now it's just an action. I think previously it took you more than an action to cast it. So now you could do it in the middle of combat if you wanted to also.
Yeah, it was a 10-minute cast.
Yeah. So they dropped that, gave you free casting, but removed ritual. Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions? Need help with anything? It's okay. We won't make fun of you much. Hallie still needs input on spell selection, though.
I would say
I just want to make sure.
Cloud Kill.
Cloud Kill. I'm also looking at scrying, which is a great spy.
That.
Should I do scrying?
Yeah. That one.
I have trying. on my spell list.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Maybe
if
you
you
wanna
want to
you have
try
try,
out.
I...
But does anybody have Cloud Kill?
no.
I think the only
I
person
think-
possibly able to get it is Shia. It's a wizard spell typically.
Yeah, and
Um,
scrying costs a focus that's worth at least 1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
true.
And I can technically once cast that for free using Divine Intervention now.
Correct.
Ah, yes. Once a day, you can
Oh.
just spy on people.
Once a day, I can cast any 5th level or lower spell without needing any of the spell components.
Which is also
Okay.
Raise Dead. Raise Dead. It's not a reaction.
Raise Dead.
Revivify. Greater Restoration. Commune. Hallow.
Hallow, the spell that took us 24 hours to cast.
She
I
can just
cast
do it
whenever
as an
I
action.
want
She
to.
can just
Yeah.
instantly make Hallowed Ground.
God,
Nice.
I also can cast Planar Binding for free now.
Yeah.
What the hell?
But I only get one per day.
How good for you. I just got an aura. Way.
hey, at least you guys didn't multi-class.
Okay. Scrying it is.
I think you get something other than an aura, Dunan. Don't you get improved divine smite, or did they
No,
remove that?
not at level 10.
Okay, the new upgrade to that is 11.
Radiant Strikes, you mean?
Oh yeah, that's it.
11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it coming up to you.
If we ever reach level 11.
A milestone or two before then.
Is scrying a ritual casting?
Scrying is a ritual, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
Not with Divine Intervention.
No, but I'll check that off.
Scrying.
It's a 10-minute cast time.
It is not a ritual, as far as
It's
I know.
not. Okay.
Yeah.
Scrying just says 10-minute cast time.
Yeah, it's just so it does cost a spell slot.
Okay.
Radiant Strikes. What does Radiant Strike to do?
Extra d8 on every strike.
No. Just
Which
bonus
is
damage across
meh.
the board.
Meh.
He says, "Mad deals an extra 1d8 on all attacks ever."
At level 11, what's 1d8, man? It's like 4 damage. It's not much.
That's not what I wanted.
Alrighty. Anyone else need any
Well,
assistance?
at least I can't be frightened anymore.
Yeah.
That's good.
And everybody within 10 feet of me.
Wall of Force is a spicy spell too. Because you can make it a dome or a globe with a radius of 10 feet. So if there's like a flying enemy, you can like make a bubble around them. Or a 10 foot by 10 foot panels. Nothing physically passed through, immune to all damage, can't be dispelled. But a disintegrate spell destroys the wall and blocks ethereal travel. I like Wall of Force, personally. I'm not saying you should go with that, though.
Really looking forward to the next feat. I have one really cool one lined up.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It sounds like everyone's all sort of set on their level ups at the moment. So, on that, let's take a quick
Oh,
break.
shit.
Maybe 7 minutes. Come back 55. Refill beverages, snacks, whatever, and then we'll get back into the session.
Yeah.
All right.
Took so long.
Yeah, I bet. Jeez. Oh my gosh.
He's gonna get a video where you can fully see him completely sparkling, but a friend of mine
Turntable with
hasn't
some
set
light
up the
shined on
studio
him.
light. Honestly, yeah. So I have the lazy Susan, and my friend has the studio lights. So we're gonna yeah.
Oh my
It's gonna be
gosh.
a extra. How can you not?
My gosh. All right. Everyone back? All right, Tang's back. I heard Sam. All right, cool. That covers everyone. Quicker than I was. All right. Getting back into everything. The group of you complete your long rest. Over the course of the long rest, Aeolus and Jaya, between the two of you, you are able to identify the pipeweed that you collected. Aeolus. So let me believe I have 2 handouts. It's the same handout, but so that way I can put one in the journal where it's supposed to be, and then one in the party items. It is not insignificant.
I mean, Tang, do you want it? It would be pretty powerful for you.
Oh shit.
I'm reading it. Give me 1 second.
Siegfried will take it. But he would give Tang first dibs.
And you do have to attune to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to give up any of my attunement things. I have my amulet, which I need, my bangle of the Starlight Raven, and Field Healer Pauldron.
Yeah.
So I would give up the bangle of the Starlight Raven if someone else would want that.
What does that do?
Bangle of the Starlight Raven.
If you open Tang's journal, you can read it. Tang's stuff. I believe everyone has access to all the magic items to be able to check them as well.
Yeah. Yep, Tang stuff. I mean, Aeolus, can you take attune to something extra?
All of my slots are taken up.
Does anybody have any empty slots?
I think maybe Heli.
No.
I do.
Do you want the Bangle of the Starlight Raven?
I mean, if you want to give it up, it's pretty dope.
I mean, it means that I can then get high, so.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get high, you just won't get the magical benefit.
You know what? Tang deserves it. She deserves the ability to get high. She's always saving her asses. So
She's
like,
literally
whatever
always
she
higher
does-
than you. She flies everywhere.
So do I. Hey, let's not make this a competition.
Now,
I can't believe Aeolus doesn't want something that'll help him jump higher.
Yeah.
so also
I
Jump on things.
to be aware, Tang, this is a consumable item, so
Yeah.
it is
So
used
this
and
is
lost.
temporary. It's a one-time use.
Yeah,
for
you have to
anyone.
attune to it to be able to use it, and then you get when you choose to activate it. It takes a minute to set to do, so you're not doing it in the middle of a fight. But then for the next hour from that point, you can cast 1 to 3 level spells on your spell list, not even ones that you have prepared, without spending spell slots.
So that's gonna be great for a boss fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have the time to set it up preemptively, correct.
Yeah.
Or you can not do that and not spend it, and the moment you light it, cast Raise Dead for free.
Yeah.
So, although you technically have that ability. So I just have to kill 2 people in a day then rather than 1 person. We'll be fine.
Hey. No.
No, thank you. But okay, I'll take the invocative pipeweed and pass the mangle of the Starlight Raven to Jaya.
Just for safekeeping, when you're done with the weed, I'll give it back.
Okay, so Jaya, I'm moving Bangle Starlight Raven to Jaya's journal.
And then I'm changing my second attunement slot to the invocative pipeweed.
Okay.
Also,
Two
one of you-
Tangs.
we really need to send a message back to Elderthorn.
Okay, we do now have enough charges on the Starlight Raven to cast Sending.
Yeah, but I also think we have that wire too, right, Jaya? That might be easier.
I mean, we can also just jump over there.
Now, what happened last time we did that?
I feel like leaving the city right now.
No. We tried to jump over here to a cart, not back to Elderthorn.
Try to jump into the library.
The last time we popped to Elderthorn, it took us 3 days to get back, and the city was on fire.
Yes,
I don't think anyone else is planning to light the city on fire.
Well, there's a coronation potentially coming up, so it's not out of the cards yet.
Yeah, but that's not going to be immediate.
I mean,
help me remember, why did we come here in the first place? It has been so long.
Well, Storm Surge said that there was weird political things going out. There was a faction that was slowly taking over the city, which turned out to be the Order of Whelm. And
But that has been dealt with.
Yep, and so that's why I wanted to let him know. But also, I'm pretty sure he's going to be interested in the coronation, and we have a unique amount of leverage in this. We could, I with my ring, we could potentially, I don't know, whatever Elder Thorn needs, we could potentially leverage that against the ring. You know?
We're sticking around for the coronation. Is that the plan?
I think I need to.
Well, we should figure out how long
I mean,
it'll be.
you should keep
Ring
a very close eye on your ring now, because now the word is out that you have it. And from what I gathered is that Sarisa was very interested in your ring.
He is, but interesting enough, I trust Sarisa and Finian. I don't think they're gonna sell me out, and I was honest how I got it. They were mostly concerned that I may have killed or stolen someone to take it, and they believed me when I said I didn't. However, the main thing is that no one has heard from the king yet, so I want to stay until that's figured out. If that's okay, but I mean,
keep your guard up. I
understand.
don't know.
I mean, I haven't been subtle. I've been raising walls of ice all around the city the past few days. I was trying not to use it when I was in town, but that kind of went out the window immediately.
Oh, you kind of didn't know that it was an artifact that originated from here.
I mean, I knew it was
You
powerful,
literally
and
knew
it came from, I knew it was powerful, and it came from here. I didn't know it was a royal artifact. Obviously it was very powerful, but this is a artifact of succession, apparently. A royal.
So you're the new king now here? Is that it?
No, but whoever holds this artifact would be endorsed, and I guess there's some legend saying that I wouldn't have been able to use it if I wasn't a guard of the king or something like that. But I've been using it all day. So
Has it been passed down by dwarves?
apparently it belonged to the king's son, who was killed under suspicious circumstances, and
Grandson.
this ring wasn't found on his body.
Grandson.
Grandson. I assume the fact that he had this ring meant he was a candidate for succession.
That's why I think they have their eyes on you.
And I understand it's powerful, but I'm not here to steal cultural artifacts from societies. Or if it can help relationships with Elderthorn, I'll give it back. I don't care that much.
Oh, let's see. Maybe everything turns out all right. We'll see.
But I also I wanted to go stop by the Artemello residence. You guys don't need to join me for that. Plus, we haven't had a few days just to relax. We've been running around. I can't even remember.
Over the long rest, I'm going to transfer the enhanced defense infusion over to Tang's armor.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So Tang, it's a +1 to her armor, correct?
Yep,
Yes.
and Siegfried's armor class goes down by 1.
And then I'm going to spend the long rest emptying out the bag of holding of everything that I haven't sold. And I'm going to end that infusion as well.
Tang, 1 sec. I'm adding the enhanced defense on your sheet.
Okay. I'm gonna be a lot less squishy now.
Yay.
I also have
Yeah,
something.
you're good. You can
for
manipulate your sheet
Tang.
again.
Thank you.
Actually, it can be for anyone.
Updated art, because there was no art for it.
Yeah, hey,
I actually like that art a lot.
I do too.
Came out nice.
That makes them so nice for when I shoot them. Before Siegfried leaves, Aeolus is going to produce one of the rubies that he found. I was going to give this to Tang, but I wanted to give everyone the option. And the second infusion creates it transmutes the ruby to allow a creature to use a reaction to maintain concentration on a spell when they would fail it.
I feel like that's actually good for Jaya, like if she has greater
Yeah.
invisibility or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has some pretty powerful spells that she concentrates on.
I will hand that to Haya. It has. I will update the info, but it has one. It recharges 1d4 charges every long rest. And oh, I'm sorry. It goes on a suit of armor or robes, so I will just.
It's the gaudiest brooch ever.
Yep. Here, look. So I might have ripped this off of one of the corpses. Just don't question it. Here you go.
Do I take fabricate just to make this less hideous?
You
Just
may
kidding.
want to.
Well, it doesn't have to be seen, right? It's on the robe, so you can just cover it with like a scarf or a. Well, no, okay. Is there a handout for this, or is this somewhere that I can read it? Because I
think Aeolus needs to give you something to read it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. No worries.
But yeah.
So you could just copy that. And I will mark that as an active infusion.
Just testing this. Don't need the fire damage in there.
Oh, for the Eldritch Cannon.
Yeah. There we go. Your spell save DC built into it.
I really have to look at how to modify the stat blocks on here.
Nine is your spell attack bonus, correct?
Yes. And if Aeolus survives to the next level, it's gonna go higher. Well,
You guys don't have to wait on me. You can continue doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah. I think we should make report to Storm Surge, right? Before we split up. Jai, you have that coil, right?
The Bengal, yes.
What happened to the? There was a
Well-
way we could communicate, but actually like talk to someone, or am I misremembering that?
I think I have that with Kelpip.
Yes,
Oh,
you have.
okay, just with
Exclusively.
Kelpip. Okay.
well, on that note, we could also ask Kelpip when he returns to Elderthorn to pass word.
Yeah, but I'd rather just tell them directly. Yeah, we'll at least send a message with the ring, but we should go check up on Kelpip either way.
That's where I was planning on heading over to.
So Starlight Raven, we can send the sending spell with just 25 words. So, what do you think we should send Aeolus?
Mission accomplished. We will return when we're able to for a full debriefing.
Okay. And then I'll just say whatever. King still has not been found. That's what I'll end it with.
Yeah. That sounds.
You send that to Kelpip?
No, to Storm Surge.
Oh, Storm Surge. Sorry, I misheard you.
But yeah, I'll just add mission accomplished. City still stands. Order defeated. King still not found.
Glad to hear it. You're sticking around there a few days in that case, then. Everything's good here.
Okay. I'm not gonna send a response back because I'm gonna assume that no response is affirmative to him. So, yeah. Off to Kelpips then, Aeolus.
If that's what everyone wants to do, sure.
Yeah.
Certainly. Intelligence mod. Okay. Easy enough to travel to the establishment. You've long rested. The city is in even better space than it was previously. At this point, you make your way to Kelpips. It is strangely and eerily familiar to how you walk into it compared to Elderthorn. Step inside. You see him currently working on cleaning up a stain that's on the ground. He's just sort of directing a series of cleaning supplies that are seemingly animated of their own accord of how to clean the mess of blood that's on the ground.
Shoplifters, eh?
A bit. What can I do for you? I'm used to this warmer climate. It's nice, though.
Just wanted to come check up on you and thank you for your help.
Of course. Made good financial sense. Think you appeal to my gracious nature. Gives you sort of a wink. Ja, it's good to see you're doing well with this unsavory cadre.
Honestly, Kelpic, I'm almost offended you introduced me to them earlier. It's so fun.
Well, you were
Having a
missing
great time.
I thought you were dead, to be fair.
Known you for years, and you never once said, hey, when you get old enough, I'm going to send you north, or wherever the fuck we are from where we were. But, saying it's actually quite offensive.
Fair enough. Also didn't know them a few years ago, so...
Yes, I think we've only been together for about a year at this
Well,
point.
I keep forgetting you don't know chronomancy. Never mind. In that case, I absolve you of all guilt. But they're fun, so thank you. So, I have never used prestidigitation more. Covered in goo all the time.
I'll leave that one alone. What brings you all in?
Nothing. We just wanna. I assume our mission for you is completed. Is there anything else you need from us?
I'm happier than a pig in shit.
Alright.
Is there anything to which I can be of service?
I think we're a little broke at the moment, unfortunately. We spent all the rest of our money at your place last time.
No. We're not quite that broke.
Well, I guess maybe.
Yeah.
Actually,
Didn't bitch have 13 platinum
Ish did.
or something like that? Yeah.
Actually, Hellpip, I wanted to ask for your opinion on something.
Yeah.
And I will unfasten the pouch that holds the dwarven skull, and I'll use it.
It's morose.
And I'll take out one of my woodcarver tools, and I'll slice my palm open, and I'll place it on the front of the skull, and I carved runes into the skull, and I'll animate my eldritch cannon.
Lovely.
So, I was wondering if there was any way that you know of to not have this apart from me, if that makes sense.
Apart from you, like stolen?
No, like I want to start experimenting and augmenting myself.
In what way? I don't think you can replace your skull.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be a skull. Just like
You want to, like, strap it to you? I mean, a couple leather thongs and a drill through the part of the skull that's still there. You can strap it to your wrist or something.
I would like your overwatch as I start to apply this craft to enhance my own body.
I'm not helping you lop off your own limbs, just to be clear.
Oh, no. Wouldn't ask you to help
More
lop
like-
off any limbs.
More like a suit, like something you can put on, take off type of thing.
Yeah.
Fine, yeah. Swing back by when you got a plan in mind, and I mean, I can watch you do it. Make sure you don't blow yourself up.
That's actually... Are you aware of the wards that are in the library that allow...
Yeah. Got a few of them.
Would it be possible to potentially return here or somewhere else that I can work on that kind of stuff?
Off the top of my head, I know of 3 locations that have such wards. Not Droucia, her hometown. My place in Brigand Hold. Not my next level up. Near my place in Brigand Hold, not connected at the moment. And then here at the Great Library. But you could do something of that sort with many of them if you worried about someone else becoming injured when you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I would just rather not, something explode and anyone else but myself potentially being at risk.
And you're also surrounded by a number of reasonably skilled individuals, not the least of which is one of my proteges. You'd probably be alright messing around if you rely on your friends to keep a weather eye for you. You'd be fine enough.
Maybe the first step of this plan is figuring out how to activate those runes.
It's easy enough. He explains in necessary means that Jai, you, and Heliwrast are capable of activating those runes with a 5th level spell slot. Channel any 5th level spell slot into the runes, and they will activate, and they remain active for 1 hour.
Nice. Okay.
As the 2 of you are casters of the appropriate persuasion.
Seems simple enough.
Yeah. When you got someone decent enough to be able to protect, you should be alright. The ones here in the Great Library, pretty potent. They were laid down a few hundred years ago, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, was the library some sort of wizard, an arcane academy?
No, not in any such sense, but it was a repository of knowledge, and a lot of people who are predisposed to magical talent are also seekers of such knowledge. So, if you want a whole bunch, when you put out a bunch of cheese, you're gonna get mice. You might not be intending to get mice when you put out said cheese, but they come all the same. It's just this time they didn't eat the cheese; they just gave you a nice plate to put it on, type of thing. Sort of falls apart at that point. But
I guess
I don't think there was an intention to draw people with arcane talent to Akkad, but the accumulation of resources and information inevitably drew them here, and once here, they saw no reason to not improve upon it.
I guess we have some money again, so do you have anything to show off today, Kelpip?
Not terribly. Asgard ran me pretty dry. Always money to be made in a conflict.
That's for sure.
Isn't that right?
I do need to find out who's gonna be paying me though.
Well, you can go speak to the lieutenant, I assume.
It's possible. Well, I think it's gonna be coming from the treasury, but with that all up in the air, I need to make sure I get my due.
How much did they owe you?
About 90,000 silver, give or take a few.
Oh,
I'll get it. Don't you worry.
oh,
Don't much
Oh,
care
yeah,
who's in charge
yeah.
here, but
Well, good luck.
that's
I
hefty, Marco.
don't think you need it.
so we're planning on staying here for at least a couple days.
It's a nice city under normal circumstances. I'm sorry that you came during less than ideal times. The Taltha itself is rather beautiful, if you don't mind the heat. Some of the outskirts, very beautiful nights in the desert, very romantic.
Ugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just for flavor, Jaya definitely looks offended by that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's the heat, but alright, fine. I wasn't asking you anyway, Aeolus.
It was that's that. I'm
So,
too old for
so
this.
should we go turn on these rooms in the library then? I don't know what this conversation's about. I'm kind of done. So, do you want to go turn these on? Is that what we're doing?
I don't think there's a reason to turn them on. For us, it was more of a if the group of you think that me carving a skull of its flesh and sinew is weird, you haven't seen anything yet.
Well, it's as weird as your stuff gets. It helps us survive, so whatever you need to
Yeah.
do, we're here to help you.
Yep.
I've
Mm.
long since ceased any thoughts of questioning your motives, so just tell us what you need.
I may eventually need to replace a body part or so.
That's where I wash my hands of your business.
And gives Aeolus a very sharp look.
Oh,
Just
my
make sure you're
phrasing.
replacing it with something better. Yes.
Nope, nope, nope. Mm-mm.
Be gone. Get out. I got work to do.
Sure.
I got jellified people to clean up.
You'd think you'd have a spell for that, I guess.
Oddly enough, the regular just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
There's still a smell.
Oh, so if you want to get rid of smells,
Oh boy.
Make me a Constitution save, Aeolus. You are vortex warped 30 feet outside the door.
no, it is. So if you go with that, what the shit?
I forgot Aeolus never grew up in Elderthorn.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So at this point, you guys have some downtime. At some point during this day, the group of you do learn that King Aldrich Valor has perished. The Asgar were successful in retaking the royal houses, but Valor, along with his attendants, were slain, or some seem to have been executed. Others likely fell in battle. Valor himself was virtually infirm and was killed in his bed. The city is in a degree of mourning over this time. Ceremonies will be held at some point during the next few days before any jockeying for political power truly begins. Although the wise of the city know that the subtle moves in game has already begun for who's going to be seizing the throne. During this downtime, you have an undescript number of days that you can choose to spend here, Elderthorn, traveling. Before you all set off on whatever you want to be accomplishing next. So what do you want to do with this downtime?
I would like to split off from the group and see if I can track down Gwen.
Certainly. And you're just trying to leave surreptitiously, not let anyone know where you're going?
I'll just be. I'm gonna head to the Artemel residence. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I'll meet you guys later.
Have fun.
So picking your way through the city, near the southwestern ward, nearly on the edge of the city, you imagine that the rear of their estates likely borders the edge of the plateau upon which Akkad is built. It likely has a beautiful view over the surface of the southern sea, about 2 leagues south of you. The space speaks of relative opulence. If you did not already recognize the crest upon the crest of the house, you wouldn't have placed it outside of nobility. Make a persuasion check as you are approaching for your general appearance.
Sure. Let me do a check for wheel or woe today. It's woe today. Oh no, can't help myself.
Yeah.
I am going to subtle cast enhance ability on myself.
Or charisma?
Before I approach any guards or anything.
Certainly. So you have an hour worth of advantage on charisma.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mark that off, and I will make a persuasion roll.
Pretty good.
Yep.
After a bit of back and forth with the attendant who comes to the gate upon your rapping, you are led into the drawing room. Presently, a gentleman looks to be not quite burly, but not slight. He's reasonably well built. Elvin looks to be a very small amount of salt and pepper on the hair near his temples. It's been slicked back across the crown of his head. His ears, a prominent feature. Looks to you. Yes. I understand you had some inquiry with us.
Is this the residence of Gwen Artemel?
That is my daughter.
Yes. I'm an acquaintance of hers, and I heard she was in the city, and I was just hoping to speak to her.
Make a persuasion check or deception check, your choice.
Is it still within the hour, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You cast it as you were walking up. It's been 5 minutes. I'm afraid not particularly fond of male suitors towards my daughter. No offense intended.
I don't believe he sees me in that way or anything. I just had some questions I wanted to ask. So.
None intended. My apologies, kind sir, if you took offense.
No.
She's not present at the moment. May I ask to what your inquiry is concerned about?
Oh, I just I don't know much about the city, and I was hoping you might give me some advice. That's all.
I might be able to assist if you are, as you say, a friend of my daughter. What questions do you have concerning Akkad? I'd be happy to try to oblige, and I can pass along your well wishes to her next I see her.
Sure. I just wanted to ask how this whole succession business is going to come about. I show him. As you can see, I'm here on behalf of the Watch, but I spend most of my time in a small village.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with your crest. It's not of Akkad.
No.
And not of Karad either. You're not from the north?
No, we're actually from quite a ways south. We're
the
south
sea?
of
One of the islands?
We're south of Akkad, right? In the terms of the map.
No.
We're north.
You're like due east.
Okay.
Across the mountains.
Actually, we're mostly east if you go over the mountains.
You've traversed the mountains. It's quite a daring. Not heard of people successfully traversing them and living to tell the tale. Well, welcome to my home. Please be advised. I'd be happy to assist you in any way, be it within my means.
Yes, I was.
So, as far as your question of succession, the royalty of Akkad is on a life appointment, selected by the people. There is a slow consolidation and selection of viable candidates from amongst the different factions. Usually individuals who not just command loyalty within their own, but some degree of appreciation and respect by members of rival factions, such to try to pull votes away from other groups. For example, if you are a member of the Miners Guild, and you are well liked there, but you also have done significantly fair and well-liked deals with the Merchants Guilds, as far as the provisioning of your miners' materials, it's likely you may be able to pull votes from the merchants away from their own candidate, especially if they have mistakenly appointed a candidate that does not align with their interests. And such, you would be placed well. Each major guild puts forward someone along with some of the major factions. And then people will typically vote along the lines of their block or their guild or other forms of loyalty, typically in that hierarchy. You often see dwarves voting for dwarves, but not always. Money plays a lot in this game.
From what I hear, the dwarves have historically been the strongest bloc until recently. Due
to the hegemony of the power within them and the fact of loyalty amongst their clans and kin, it's difficult to sort of sway voters out of the bloc, but it's not impossible. The more dwarves that represent are pulled into other guilds, the easier it is to actually pull them away from voting for the bloc and instead voting for guilds.
So
because
there's a few dwarves in the Miners Guild. And
well, it's a rule of loyalty, truthfully. And I don't mean to paint with a broad brush, but people that value clan and kin above all, as long as they're being loyal, they're happy. So you need to present them, if you wish to sway dwarves, some of the dwarves of the city, to a candidate that is not of their clan nor kin. You need to present them an alternative form of loyalty, be it someone who sees their valued representations, or we lost someone. Did we lose?
Dunan had to step off.
Okay.
Away.
Gotcha. Be it someone who can draw their vote whilst still maintaining their sense that they are being loyal in casting it for them.
Yes, my mother once told me that loyalty is more of a performance than anything else. In a lot of cases.
It's a sense of self. If you walked the streets of Akkad later this day and spoke with those who survive, which will also undoubtedly play a large role, and asked members of the non-Dwarven Bloc, the Progressive Alliance, to describe themselves, you would get adjectives such as loyal and hardworking and intelligent and passionate and other things that are descriptions of self. When you speak with dwarves of Akkad and elsewhere, mind you, I don't mean to paint with such a broad brush, but we must speak in generalizations. You would get son of XYZ, daughter of whomever, cousin of this person, member of XYZ guild. Their primary identifiers are that of their loyalties. So you must determine how to best play to that if you wish to draw votes. It is a very fine dance that our city has done for thousands of years. And in a large majority of the citizens' lives, they have not had a royal election. Valor was King Valor, may he rest well, was appointed early in his life, in his 11th or 12th decade, if I'm recalling correctly, which is several centuries past at this point. Most people are not alive that long, especially the younger-lived races. I believe it was my great-great-grandfather that put a vote for Valor.
In your opinion, are there any promising candidates at the moment?
As of yet, no. This is likely a dance that will play out over the next few 10-day, potentially months. We should hopefully have an election by late summer.
And what is it? What time is it now? I
Beginning of
forget
spring.
Beginning of spring. Okay. So I imagine this is going to take some time. Well, thank you.
Know what?
I haven't had much experience with this. All this politicking.
I'm not sure if this is you, but there is an adage in smithing of striking while the iron is hot. The important part of that is making sure that the iron is hot before striking it. The factions, guilds, alliances, different groups of interest are all going to be very careful about making sure that they get the iron to the correct temperature before they attempt to make a strike.
They're going to use the time to rally their base.
Precisely. And test to see if the person they think might be right is right or not. A scandal could destroy their interests for literally centuries to come, if depending on the candidate. This is not
Thank
a
you.
decision anyone takes rashly.
Thank you for the information, Mr. Artemel.
Of course, I'll
it's actually very helpful.
my sincerest apologies, Master.
Siegfried or Siegfried Bronze River, Master Bronze River, Siegfried, whatever. I'm not much of a master, honestly.
I would not have wagers as such at first appearance, based on your heritage.
Yes,
but
very Lions like me.
I'll pass along your well wishes to
Yes,
my daughter upon next we speak.
If she wishes to seek me out, my party is staying at the meadery at the moment. So, thank you.
Of course.
And can I just do like an insight check on him before he left? Like I want just yeah.
Sure.
I would like to
Go ahead. Hard to read. He seemed friendly enough. It's not like he's running up and giving you a hug, but he seemed friendly.
I would head back to the meadery.
Okay. Anyone else would like to do anything during the downtime?
I think Jaya would have just been exploring the library as much as
Certainly.
possible.
I would be heading just outside the city to search for more medicinal herbs.
Okay. Tang, you can roll for that for however many days you guys are spending downtime. I guess I should ask, how many days do you want to spend in downtime here?
Well, I think that truly depends on the group speaking after Siegfried learns. How long?
Yeah. Whenever we met up, I imagine after the first day, I would just let everyone know that it's gonna take probably weeks for this election to happen. So we can probably head back to Elderthorn at some point. So months. So we should probably just finish up what we need to do in town and then head back to Elderthorn. So maybe like 3 days we head back to Elderthorn, or 2 days. Do we need that much time?
3 days, up to you guys. You gonna do 3 days? Do 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do 3 days.
3 days.
Let me update my calendar.
Okay.
So Tang, you can make 3 checks a day for me. The DC is increased by 5 because of the environment. For searching, specifically. So you get 9 checks.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the healer feat so I can figure out how.
All good.
Oh, it's not the healer.
We're not
feat,
going to ask
but-
Denny to just whisk us there with his hat.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the third
I
day,
think
I
that's
imagine
the intention. But
yeah.
Okay.
Jai, you said you wanted to peruse the library. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to go because my parents had always talked about it, right? So was there anything that they had mentioned or anything like in their, I guess, sphere that I would be drawn to? I guess.
One moment. Make me 2 investigation checks. And an Arcana check with advantage.
Just the Arcana with advantage, or
Just the
both
Arcana.
those?
The 2 investigation checks and then the Arcana at advantage.
Ew.
24.
24 is my lucky number today, I guess.
Apparently. Um, perusing through, you find a few small histories of Karad. You learn a bit about bit more detail than you probably had previously about the Karad slave trade in the northern seas and how they're used for the ships of passage and trade in that region of the world. You don't learn anything specifically about your parents, although in the perusal of the library as well, you do find a small section of spellbooks. And you can select any 3 spells of 4th level or lower, and provided you have the materials, you can copy them into your spellbook.
I'm gonna have to borrow gold from somebody.
How much?
How about you?
Let me see which spells, and then I'll let you know. But I get them half of gold because of this the Arcanist wand.
Yep.
But let me peruse, and I will let you guys know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe it's 50 gold per level or 25 per level.
I feel like you can feel free to use the money in our party loot if you need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shia showed up broke with a sword in the
I mean,
library.
you're stealing like the worst hotel room ever.
Yeah. Yeah, so each transcription takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold per level of the spell. Or, sorry, it's 2 hours plus 50 for level. So instead it'll be 2 hours plus 25 for level of the spell. So any 4 wizard spells.
And Jai, I was
4?
wondering if I
Oh,
could
sorry, 3.
use your-
3 level wizard spells of 4th level or lower.
in exchange for this gold I graciously gave on behalf of the party. Could I potentially send another message?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to send a message to Gwen and say, in a cod, bet your father, staying at the meadery.
Has Jaya met Gwen?
No, she hasn't met Gwen. Shit. You have to have met the person, right?
For sending it.
For sending. Never mind.
Well, if it's the Raven, does that still matter?
Does it say otherwise on the Bangle of the Starlight Raven?
No, it doesn't say anything of it just says recipient. That's all.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you follow the rules for sending at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind then.
Sorry.
I wish I could learn this spell. Not on the druid list. God.
You could have volunteered to attune to the start Bangle. Give up one of your other
I
things.
need my shield and my ring of protection.
I mean, like, we're spending days here, right? Like, do you need your shield for the days that we're spending in downtime? Like, I'm in the library for 6 hours. Like, someone can attune to this thing and use it.
I guess if we're spending a few days here,
Sure, at some point, Siegfried send the message.
Yeah, I'll send a message and I'll just say, this is Siegfried, met your father, staying at the meadery in Akkad. Do you want to meet up? That's the message.
You do not receive a
They're
reply. Can you put sending in chat for me, please?
Yeah.
You know that the delivery failed, Siegfried.
Jaya, why would this spell fail? I guess she's either dead or
We're on another
different
plane.
plane of existence.
Those are the only two way I
too
know.
worried.
Yeah.
She'd even. I'm not sure what to do with this information.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Why don't we reach out to the other death deniers?
Think Grottle is going to help us?
If you're looking to talk to a member who travels with her, she'd be the best person to ask, hey, you guys okay?
Sure. Well, how many charges left on the Starlight?
Starts at 6, I believe, or 6 or 7, and it costs
Okay.
2 for 3 or 2 for sending, so you have another at least one more in it.
So I'll just send a message to Grottle.
Starts at 7, so, and it's
Yeah.
3 charges for sending. Yeah.
So as a from Siegfried, tried to contact Gwen, no response. Is everything okay?
Delivery fails.
Fuck. No contact with Grottle either. This
That's
isn't.
not good.
No.
Who would we be able to find the best information about them from?
I mean, Dunan. I mean, we can. Some people in our party know the scrying spell, but we need to buy focus, right? An item.
Scrying works if they're on this plane.
Yeah. I mean, if they're on this plane, the message should have gone. That's what the Bengal said. Yeah, I mean, if the Bengal said that the sending spell says that it would have reached them even if they're on a different plane. Oh no.
There's a chance of it failing, but the chance of it failing twice if they're on a different plane are slim to none.
Yeah.
Spencer, can I try to remember if Grottle, or if we heard where they may be traveling to the last time we saw them?
Make a history check.
Last time we saw them, they were heading north from the Dragon's Den, and then when we came
That's correct.
here,
They're checking.
and then that when we came here, the only sighting we had of Gwen was that she had gone through the gate to Akkad with 2 other people that looked like halflings. That's the only information that she had gone through the gate before we did.
Is it a possibility that the order got to them?
Anything's possible, I guess, but I hope that's not the case.
Well, we know one spot that we can return to put a contract out on trying to find them.
Sure, and maybe we should see if we can get that item that we need to scry.
Okay. So, Heliwrast, are you doing anything during the downtime?
No.
Just chilling?
Yeah, just chilling, seeing if anybody wants company.
Just want to double check. We will pick up with your plans to acquire a magical item, an item for scrying, track down the death deniers, and eventually leave the city of Akkad at some point next session.
Yep.